So, hey everyone, I'm doing this again. I should have done this Sunday, and it is Tuesday. Me and my procrastination. Just got a sneeze coming on, so if I sneeze during this, that's a strange warning. I'm telling you when I'm gonna sneeze. But anyway, um, okay, I've been happy all, week-ish, cause, Josie's coming to America. I think I mentioned that last one, but if I didn't, she's coming here and she's either packing or preparing or leaving, like, now, because I'm not sure. I think this might be her preparing day, but I think it's her leaving day. I'm not sure. I was confused by that, but anyway, point being, she is coming here, and that is great for her, so I'm glad there. School's been good. We had Monday off. I drew a picture that took me way too long. It had 11 people in it, and I'm not even that good with people. I totally neglected shading it and stuff, so whatever. Let's see. School, it's boring. My friend got 1 hour of sleep last night and was complaining about it all day, and I think she went to sleep because I've been texting her random stuff like Hop Hop Bunny Splot, I think, which sounds horrible because it sounds like a crushed bunny. Something about the moon, and then something else about cats eating fish, I think. I'm not sure, but point being, I've been sending her random text messages, and she has replied to none of them, and I actually warned her that I was going to do that if she fell asleep, but she needs to sleep, so I probably shouldn't be bothering her, but yeah. Anyway, jeez. Buena Vista, Buena Vista, Buena Vista. Okay, so I was there all weekend, pretty much more summed up by Friday through Sunday. And what we did there is we got there on Friday and pretty much did nothing, but we did go to the hot springs. Hot springs were nice. At first we were like in a pool, and my dad like kept look at the river. He's like, I think that's warm, but I really don't want to jump in a freezing cold river. And so I'm like, well, whatever, I'll go check out. So I go down there with one of my cousins at first. It was Danielle, and so we go down there, we get into the river, and we're like, oh yeah, this is really warm. So we like go further down the river, and we like find a nice little pool area, and we both like lay down in it. It's nice and warm. And later another one of my cousins, Avery, comes, and she joins us for a while. And we stay there for about an hour, and it efficiently killed my rainbow nail polish, which my rainbow nail polish was really cool. It was like each nail was a different color, but I don't have an orange, so the orange was left out. But anyhow, that was a mixture between way and who. Anyway. Oh well, moving on. The next day, because eventually the rest of the family just came down and started hanging out on the river with us, but the next day, you know, we all sleep, sleep, Betty by time. The next day, I said that 3 times now, we, half the family, well, more than half, like, there are 6 of us who want to do this other thing, but more than half the family want to go dirt biking and stuff, and hiking and dirt biking. I'm like, whatever, I don't want to break my arm in a dirt biking 4-wheeling accident, and I don't want to hike to see a lake. I'm sorry, there were lots of lakes on the way up. I thought that would be a pointless activity. It's a 3-hour drive. We're going to pass lakes. So I went to this like really old ghost town with my mom, my cousin, and my aunt, my other cousin Dawn, and my Aunt Pam. And so we're all there. Me and my mom stick together, and the other 2 go somewhere else. And so me and Mom were like, look at these old buildings. It's so weird at this ghost town. I forget what it was called. Saint something. I think it was Elmo. Yes, it was Saint Elmo. But we went into the courthouse, and apparently their like laws and rules were written in 2 languages, Swedish and Italian. There was no English laws, and so it's like, well, that's a little strange, but okay. And then the rest of the towns were English except for their like Swedish Italian towns, so that was interesting. And I actually read it, I'm like, I could actually identify some Italian words. I feel so proud. But most of it was gibberish to me. Anyway, so we do that, and then we get bored, and we go leave the ghost town while Aunt Pam and my cousin were somewhere in there. And we like go down to this river and we take some pictures, and I find a bunch of raspberries and I eat the raspberries, and yes, I know they were raspberries. I wasn't just eating poison berries. I'm more responsible than that because we have a raspberry bush in my garden, so I know what are raspberries. And they tasted amazing. And I'm still alive, so they obviously weren't poison red berries randomly growing. Anyway, I actually did eat one that didn't look quite right, and I like started second guessing afterwards. I'm like, was that a raspberry? I hope I don't die, but I didn't, and I felt fine, so apparently it was. And then we went back up to the ghost town. They had like this weird gift shop that like wasn't even supporting the ghost town. It was like just like t-shirts and stuff and this really pretty jewelry. And Mom bought me ice cream there, which was really good ice cream, by the way. And so it was really hot, so I earned it. So that was good, very good, yum 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 ice cream. So we leave there and we're all together and we're like, well, now let's go look for a brewery because my entire family except for me is into beer. My brother's home. Anyway, I don't know if you could hear his rap music. He just walked by my door playing it really loud. Maybe faintly, but anyway, so after that we're like, let's go find a brewery, and it was a wonderful game of Ring Around the Rosie. We're like, oh, let's go to this one place, because it's obviously the brewery, and we met up with my grandparents, by the way. They, like, were in this old 80s restaurant with, like, these really good, like, sweet potato fried chips. I don't know what they were, but they tasted good. And they tasted, I never had tried this before, but I dipped it in this marshmallow stuff, and it was really good. He's back. Anyway, it tasted really, really good, this marshmallow sauce. It's like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So anyway, I like eat most of that because that marshmallow sauce was amazing. And then with my grandparents we go to this building and we're like, is this the brewery? They're like, no, that be the building over there, like a couple miles away. And so we're like, okay, well, the appetizers here, and I'm already kind of full from the ice cream and potato chips, but I like have a little bit of this like small pizza they ordered. I had a piece like yay big. So I ate that, and then we go to this other restaurant that they direct us to, and they were like, so this is the brewery, and they're like, nah, the brewery is the other building we were just at, and we're like, what? Okay, the people who live here have no clue what's going on. So we're like, whatever, we'll stay here and test every single beer you've got. Not me, they each had a beer glass, like, the size of my hand, and they had, like, 8 of those, everyone in my family. I'm surprised they weren't drunk. I was just sitting there with my water like, I want something other than water. Because everyone, like, some of them actually looked like juice, even though I smell it, I'm like, that's not juice, that's beer. Beer is gross. But anyway, so I'm just sitting there, and then my cousin let me use her $2,000-ish camera, and so I'm like, picture, oh, zoom into random pedestrians because it has really good zoom in. I'm like, I take pictures of random people walking down the street, and she's like, no, that's creeperish. So I couldn't take pictures of random pedestrians, but I did zoom in on every single one who walked past, and I zoomed into people's cars, and most of them were messy. I feel like such a stalker. Anyway, so we finished that, we're like, goat farm, and we went to this goat farm, which was really cool, and this is getting long, so I probably can't describe it to full length, but it was cool. It was like, there were tons of goats, obviously, but there was also, like, pigs, horses. There was one identity crisis cow who was in a field of a bunch of baby goats, and it's like, oh my gosh, that cow probably thinks it's a goat, because she said it, like, bucks its head like a goat, and it acts like a goat, so poor identity crisis cow. But there was, just, like, they were so cute, the baby goats, but then they started eating my hair. But anyway, we went, I love goat cheese, by the way. Goat cheese is the best. And so we went and, like, I actually got to milk a goat, which was, I had mixed feelings on that. But we, went and, did this stuff, and eventually, um, we got to, like, taste a bunch of goat cheese, and we saw it, like, aging. That almost made me not want to eat goat cheese that day. Almost. I love goat cheese too much to give it up just for seeing that. But we saw it aging, and it was, like, gross. There's no other way I could describe it. It's like cheese just sitting there. And my mom wants a goat now, so if she ever decides to get one, don't be too surprised, because she has declared more than once that she is getting a goat now. I'm like, Mom, can we buy chocolate? And she's like, no. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going home. And she's like, we should have got chocolate to go with the goat cheese. I'm like, well, there you go. See, I am smart. So yeah, pretty much that's pretty much all that happened there. The goat farm was really fun, though. It's funner than it sounds. But anyway, this is getting a little long. Probably just talk a little more. Anyway, right there, up and down, a little boring because my internet kept failing me. Oh, and we drove through South Park. I've done that before, too. Drove through South Park. That's pretty fun. I don't know, it's not much to look at. It looks like every other single town you go through. Like Hell, there's a town up there that you drive through called Hell, and it is awesome. So technically I've been to Hell, but it's a town, not... I haven't met Satan, don't worry. Anyway, that has been my weekend, and it has been entertaining, and I am happy. But pretty much the whole weekend was, well, I don't know. My family is very, like, we side with you, we don't side with you, and there's, like, always drama with them. But anyway, it was pretty good, yeah. So, 12 minutes, way too long. I'm sorry I've got, once again, I haven't kept you. You could leave anytime you want. Remember that when you watch these, because I seem to always forget. Anyway, have a nice week, have a nice day. If you're in my time zone, actually gonna watch this tonight, sleep well, and see you next week. Bye!